Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga. Our theme for the month is endurance, and we are going to accomplish that today through a combination of working on flexibility and balance at the same time in conjunction with one another. So I'm going to take a few poses, begin them on our mat where we can relax, work on strengthening and stretching, bring it up to a chair in a seated position, and then taking it up to a stand for our final position to work on balance. So the chair is here to use as a prop for balance, but also to sit in today if you have that accessible for you. So let's start down onto our mat, lying on our back. Just get yourself nice and comfortable. We are going to focus on lengthening the hamstrings and opening up the hips today. So before we begin, just come into a comfortable place, maybe Shavasana, and try to clear your mind of any external chatter. Bring your awareness to your breathing, to the alignment of your spine. And we focus on the 3 B's, the brain, the body, and the breath. And we come to our mat in a different place each and every time. Our body might feel a little different. Our thoughts are in a different place. And our breathing might feel a little different as well. So begin to slow the breath. You can control the breathing, or your body automatically takes the breath for you. So controlling the breath, as you inhale, let your belly rise to the ceiling. Exhale, and the belly falls, and gently engage the core. We'll take 2 more deep breaths. And then you can choose to keep your eyes closed if you'd like and just listen to the sound of my voice. We'll bring the right knee up toward the chest, and you can hug around your shin or behind the upper leg and just pull that in to a comfortable place and stretch. It's a nice release for the lumbar spine. Continuing to move the breath deeply and slowly. Then keep that knee right where it is, but release your hands. And then we'll straighten and bend the leg up toward the ceiling. Very slowly, and this all depends upon your flexibility as to the height of your leg. So it can be as low as you need to get your leg out to straight. Your ankle can be flexed for a deeper stretch through the calf. You can point the foot, or you could just relax your foot. We're focusing on bending the knee and straightening to lengthen and contract the hamstring muscle. This is a dynamic flexibility, so we're going through a comfortable range of motion while we're moving. And on this next one, hold the leg straight and then lower it down toward the floor and relax it there. Bring your left knee right up into the chest. Hug it in. If you want, you can move your ankle around a little bit while you're here in this position, or just relax the foot. Come back to your breathing. A nice gentle stretch for your glute and a release for the low back. And then keep your knee there, but let it go and see how much you can straighten this left leg up toward the ceiling. And then bend the knee. And try to make sure everything else in your body is relaxed. So we're not tensing our shoulders, our neck is relaxed, the jaw, the facial muscles are softened. And you can join this movement with your breathing, either exhaling or inhaling as your leg straightens. Whatever feels more comfortable for your breath flow. Notice how high this leg is as you straighten and bend. Whatever your range of motion is in the hamstring. And maybe you can go a little bit further each time as the muscle begins to lengthen. And then one more, extend that leg up. Slowly lower it down to the mat. Now combining all of those movements that we did, bring your right knee in toward your chest, extend your leg up, and then lower it down. Now it can just hover an inch off the floor. We'll repeat that same side again. The knee comes in, extend it up, and lower. And let's try inhaling as we extend the leg up. Big breath in, and then exhale to bring it down and into the chest. Let's do 2 more on this leg. And then once that right foot comes down, relax it there. Same thing on the left leg. Knee comes in, extend it up to straight, and lower down. So if your hamstrings are really tight, when you extend out to straight, you can be as low as you need to with that leg. If you're feeling strain in your lower back while you're doing this, the leg that you're not moving can be bent with your foot on the mat. And this is going to give a little bit more support for your low back. It's easier for your pelvis to stay stable and neutral here. So we're strengthening the quadricep while we're stretching the hamstring. We'll do 2 more. And 1 more. And then we've got a figure 4 stretch on each side. So let's start by bending your left knee to relax your foot to the mat. Bend your right knee, flexing your ankle, and place that right ankle over your left thigh. And press your knee away from you just briefly. And then we'll pull the knees up toward the chest. Ooh, that's feeling really tight for me today, surprisingly so. But that's all right. I'm going to be patient here with my hips and just relax in this position. So we'll be doing this laying on our back, we'll be doing it seated in a chair, and we'll be doing this standing for some balance work. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then release that foot to the mat, switch sides, left ankle crosses over the right thigh. We press the knee open and then draw the knees up toward the chest. My left side is equally as tight today as the right. So this is a wonderful stretch if you have any issues with sciatic nerve problems. It's a great stretch for the external rotators of the hip, for the piriformis. And we'll take 2 more slow breaths on this left side. And then lower the legs. Come back briefly to Shavasana. Close your eyes for a moment and just notice the 3 B's, your brain, where you are mentally today in your awareness, in your practice, your body, what feels different after those stretches, and where is your breathing? Then take your time to make your way up to a seated position in your chair. You can roll to your side, press yourself up, and maybe come into a little forward fold before you come to a stand. And then when you come to your chair, sit to the forward edge of your chair. So sitting bones are close to the front edge. We'll sit up nice and tall. And since I'm facing you mirroring, I'm going to call this, although it's my left leg, I'm going to call it the right. So we will sit tall and bring the right knee up, extend your leg out, and lower down. So this is a lot different than what we felt laying on the ground. This movement is going to be small. And my goal is for you to keep good posture here. I'll turn sideways a couple of reps too. Good posture so that when you bring that knee in and lift your leg up, you're not hunching forward here. So keep that tall spine. Try to get that leg all the way to straight before you lower it down. And our focus is endurance. So we're going to do a fair amount of repetitions here. If you need a break, please take it. You should be starting to feel that quadricep, a little bit into your hip flexor here. Draw your shoulder blades back. Let's do 4 more on this side. 4. This can be really intense as you fire that quad. Good, 1 more. And relax the leg. From here, same leg will go into our seated figure 4. So bring your knee up, flex your ankle, and cross that ankle over your thigh. Gently press your knee out, lengthen the spine, and lean forward any amount into the stretch. So it should feel fairly or pretty close to what it did on your back, but we can let gravity now assist us as we fold the upper body forward. Come back to your breathing, slow and deep. Two more breaths. And then rise up, Slightly lean back in your chair, uncross the ankles, and just fire your abdominals. So we're really here neutral. Shoulder blades are back. You're leaning back any amount just to feel the bracing of your abs. And if you'd like, you can start to lift your knees up. So this is our boat pose, sitting in a chair. You can lift one leg and then the other, or lift both, or try straightening your legs out a little bit more. So this is balance, a lot of core strength, and we're looking for endurance here of our core muscles. Come back to your breathing. And certainly your feet can be down and just leaning back any amount here. It's holding another 30 seconds. Arms can be wherever you'd like. You can hold the chair. You can hold the back of your legs. You can lift them up high. Feeling some muscle shaking. One more breath. And then the feet come down. We'll separate the knees fairly wide, still sitting on the edge of your chair. We'll do a seated happy baby to stretch your lower back. So you can support here on your thighs and just lean forward, or we can bring our hands down any amount toward the floor and relax the neck, the shoulders. Happy baby is usually done laying on our back, holding onto our feet with a 90-degree bend at the knees, the feet toward the ceiling. So this is the same pose, just done in reverse. All right, supporting, bring yourself back up. Close the knees together, and we'll begin the sequence on your left knee. So sitting tall toward the front edge of your chair, bring your knee up, extend your leg straight, and lower down. Now, if you're finding this is really tough to get the leg any amount off the ground, you can lean back a little bit like we did in our boat pose, because it gives you more space as it shifts the pelvis backward, and now you can lift the leg a little higher. So that's an option you can do. And really focus on this quadricep. So we're working on the idea of reciprocal inhibition. So when you tighten your quad to straighten your leg, the hamstring has to release and stretch. And let's do 4 more on this side. Check your posture so you're not hunched over. And 2 more repetitions. Are you excited to do this standing? Yes, we are. 1 more time. That will be the challenge. And relax that leg. We'll come to our figure 4 stretch on this side. Bring the knee up. Flexing your ankle. This helps to protect your knee from twisting here and brings the rotation into your hip. Lengthen the spine and stretch forward any amount. And just notice where you're feeling this. Oftentimes, stretching is a chain of muscles that are stretching. Sometimes it's not just one. So oftentimes when I do this, I feel my lower back, even though that's not the big muscle that we're focusing on. But that's part of the stretching in the chain of muscles. Bring your awareness back to your breathing. The further forward we go, the more we'll feel the stretch. but we're not forcing or taking it beyond our edge where we're feeling any strain. One more deep breath. And as you exhale, rise back up, uncross, lean your body back, seated boat pose. So one leg can come up for a couple of breaths, and then you can switch, or both legs up. See where you can take it here. And it's okay to try to adjust, maybe straighten the legs. If it doesn't work, then go back to bending, go back to setting the feet down. What's most important is that we're keeping our good alignment, not holding our breath, not feeling any strain in the lower back. 2 more breaths. And then exhale, bring the feet back down. We'll do seated happy baby one more time. Lengthen the spine long. Fold your body through any amount. You can keep your hands right here on your thighs. Or take them down, maybe supporting on a block. And release the lower back. Last breath in. Exhale. Support yourself to come back up. And close the knees together and rise up to a stand. So if you need your chair for a little assistance, have it close by, but only use it when needed. We'll take our feet and just slightly, just a little tiny bit, turn your toes out. That's going to increase your base of support. You can also take your feet a little wider, which will increase your base of support. And we'll bring the right knee up, extend the leg straight, and lower down. So sometimes holding our arms out to the side helps with balance. It's akin to a tightrope walker. He's walking with that nice long stick. Helps us with balance. We're thinking about good alignment, good posture. And our goal is to get the leg all the way straight, so full contraction of your quadricep. And it's okay if that means the leg is only this high. Also, we're trying not to round. Tight hamstrings attach, or all hamstrings attach to the sitting bone. So if they're tight, sometimes they cause our pelvis to tuck under. So really stay lifted. And we're doing several repetitions to work endurance, both of this quadricep and hip flexor, as well as balancing on the standing leg. About 15 seconds to go on this side. And I'm actively flexing my foot, which is really nice to create more length in the calf. But that's all up to you. Let's do one more on that side. And then relax. Take that foot you just worked, cross it behind the other one just slightly, and take a side stretch over away from the back leg. That sequence really works your hip flexor, so I want to take some time to stretch out that area before we switch sides. And then come up. The front foot, your left foot, steps forward a little bit more. The back one steps back just a tiny bit. Take a short stance, warrior one, and then we'll do that side stretch again. Focus is to lengthen right here in front of your right hip. And also this is a nice balance challenge too. One more breath. And come up and step the feet back together to your stance. A slight tiny turnout, the feet in a good position to give you a strong base of support. Your left knee comes up, extends, and lowers down. So if you need to, you can touch that foot to the floor each time and regain your balance. Or just let it float off the floor an inch or so and not touch it to the ground. Check your posture. And we're getting this left thigh to contract as we bring that leg all the way out to straight. And then breathing wherever it feels good for you. Sometimes exhaling on the hardest part is nice. It helps you to brace your abdominals. A good connection of your right foot into the ground. So you're really grounding that foot to help you with balance here. "20 seconds on this side. I'm definitely feeling the hip on that standing leg, the right leg. And one more repetition. And coming on down. Good, the leg we worked will cross behind the opposite foot. Take a side stretch over toward the right to open up the left hip, side waist, relaxing your low back. And inhale up. Take a step forward with your right foot and back a little with your left. A short stance, warrior one. Same side stretch, the same direction. I feel this really deepens that release in the hip flexor. And try to tighten your left glute. So squeeze that seat muscle, and that will help you to release the front of the hip. And we'll take one more breath here. And exhale, release it down, step the feet back in. Standing figure four. So using your chair, it can be off to the side, or you can face it so you can put your fingertips in front of you. Sometimes that's nice. We'll bring the right knee up, flex the ankle, cross it over the top of the thigh, and open your knee outward. From here, we bend the standing knee like we're going to sit into a chair. And we start to fold the upper body forward until we feel that maximum stretch. And then a wonderful challenge is to let go of the chair and balance. Coming back to your breathing. Feel that grounding in your left foot, the connection of the Pada Bandha. Maybe sink your upper body a little lower down towards your legs. Perhaps bending your standing knee a little deeper. Two more breaths. And then come out the way you came in by lifting the chest first. Standing up and uncrossing the ankle. Take a nice big inhale, reach up. Exhale into forward fold, a nice swan dive. You can place your hands on top of your chair or bring them down to a block or to your shins or to your mat. And then bend the knees, reverse your swan dive, coming back up, inhale. And exhale. All right, standing figure four stretch or pigeon, using the left leg to come up, flex the ankle, cross it over the thigh, open the knee out, and bend your standing knee first like you're sitting into chair pose. From there, the chest drapes over the legs any amount. You can try letting go of your support for balance. Even if it's for a second or two, it's a good challenge. You can always come out of the pose if you need to readjust and start over. Bring your awareness to the 3 Bs. The brain, staying mindful on the pose. No distractions. The body, where we're feeling the stretch, where we're feeling the muscular work. And the breath as we continue to inhale and exhale at a rhythmic pace. Two more breaths. And coming up, the reverse the way we came in, the chest lifts up first. The standing leg straightens. And we uncross the ankles. Take a breath in. Swan dive into forward bend. Exhaling. You can take ragdoll pose here too if you'd like by crossing your hands to the opposite elbows and just letting your body drape toward the legs. Your knees can be bent any amount. And then reverse your swan dive, coming back up. Inhale. And exhale. Sit into chair pose. The arms can come forward. Your feet can be close together or create a wider base of support by separating your feet. Hold your chair and see if you can lift your heels up off the floor any amount. You can use the wall or chair to support you as your heels come up. So maybe you use support to get in that position and then see if you can let go. Two more breaths. Then let your heels drop down. Rise up, reach toward the ceiling, and see if you can lift your heels up off the floor here. Any amount. You can use that chair just a little bit, or your arms can be down at heart center, any position that works. Tighten your leg muscles. One more breath. Release your heels down. Then at your own pace, make this a flow of joining those movements. So you'll sit into chair, briefly lift your heels up, set them down, rise up, briefly lift your heels, and lower. Chair, Lift the heels. Upward salute. Lift the heels. We'll do this for about 60 seconds at your own pace. So even though we're going faster with this movement, still in a controlled manner. So what's happening in the calves here? When we come into chair, our knees are bent. When we come up, of course, our knees are straight. So when we lift the heels off the ground with bent knees, we're isolating a muscle called the soleus. When we're lifting our heels with straight legs, focusing more on the gastrocnemius. So they're both in the lower leg, both part of what we call the calf muscles. But this movement is a little bit different. And we don't lift our heels very often when our knees are bent. So sometimes the soleus can become a little bit weakened. Let's do one more of each. And then relax the arms down. Either bring your hands to your hips and pull your shoulders back and your elbows, or interlace your hands and take a nice chest expansion. So we're going to be working on endurance and balance for the core from a hands and knees position. So you can slide your chair away, not needing that at this point. And if you need some padding for your knees, have that at the ready as you come down to all fours. One of my favorite exercises for core is spinal balance, and it is so good for working on stability of the spine, the muscles at the front of the spine and the back of the spine. We'll take just the right leg and extend it back behind and really straighten that leg. You can flex your foot for a nice active shin muscle. We're going to do some tiny lifts, squeezing the glute and lower down. At the same time, the left arm is extended out. So this movement isn't very big. As we lift and lower the leg, we keep it straight, and we really fire the gluteal muscle on that right side. The core is so zipped up that we don't move the pelvis whatsoever. If your right wrist becomes a little bit sore, you can come up onto your fists and use fists for wrists. Squeeze it up, tightening that muscle. Muscular strength and balance and core stability. Now lift it up and hold it. Bend your knee so that your foot is pointing right up to the ceiling, and lift up from here and lower. And your left hand can always come down at any time. Slow, small movement, really activating the glute. 4 more repetitions. 3, 2, and 1. Left hand comes down, right knee comes down. We are going to release the right arm. It held us up for a long time, so reach the right arm up. Take a thread the needle, slide it under, relax your right shoulder down, and hold this gentle twist. The left hand can wrap behind your back for a shoulder release, or you can reach the left hand way up toward the top edge of your mat to release your lat muscle. And just relax that right arm and shoulder. One more breath. Then use your left hand to press yourself back up. With an inhale, reach that right arm high and set it down to your mat. So level off your pelvis. Neutral core. Send your left leg straight back. Try not to let your left hip lift up, so drop it down so it's really even. Tighten your thigh muscle on that left leg, flex your ankle, and lift your leg up and down. So our goal is to lift with a straight leg. So try not to bend your knee as you lift up. Really straight lever. When you lift, it's so small that it doesn't involve the pelvis or the back. The right arm reaches out. Feel the core working in stabilization. So we have endurance here as we're holding our spinal balance and strengthening the glute. Five more with a straight leg. And hold that leg up. Bend the knee, flexing the foot like you were going to press it up on the ceiling, and lift and lower just a tiny, tiny amount. And try to pause when you bring that leg up, a little small hesitation to really engage the muscle and to feel it. So we're not finding any momentum here by going up, down quickly. It's a very small controlled action. If you need, the right hand can come down here as we finish 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Twist to your left, lifting the left arm up. And thread the needle and relax. Right arm can reach high or wrap behind the back, trying to feed your fingers into your hip crease. One more breath. Then plant that right hand under your shoulder to press yourself up, open and reach. And coming back down. Transition yourself for a seated boat pose. We did this in the chair. You can always go back to your chair if you prefer to do it there for a second time, or it would be a third time, wouldn't it? Because we did it twice already. So what we want to do here, the most important part, is just keeping your neutral spine and tipping back any amount so you feel this bracing and stability. What you do with your hands is just variation, so they can come down to the floor behind the legs. And this is a good boat pose to hold. From there, you can decide, do you want to lift a leg up, then maybe switch, or hold both legs up, or straighten them out any amount. Relax your shoulders down. So this fires your hip flexors a lot, which attach here on your lower back. So sometimes this can be really bothersome to your back. So I have a trick you can try. Open your knees and cross your ankles. So I have wide knees here, and that's going to release your hip flexors a little bit. I felt that difference already in that. This makes it so much easier on my low back. So looking for endurance, holding and breathing. Three more breaths. One more inhale and exhale. Bring your feet back down and come up. Extend the legs out in front of you. You can have any amount of a bend in your knees, and we'll fold over the legs and relax the low back. You can also grab your yoga strap, use it under the bottoms of the feet, and sit tall and just pull back with your strap. And we'll hold here 2 more breaths. And then bring yourself back to neutral. Bring the right knee in, plant your foot to the floor, or you can even cross the foot over the other thigh as we come into a twist to the right side. So the right arm will go behind you, lift with a nice long spine. Left hand can just hold this knee in, or we can reach around with the hand here, or we can press the palms at the heart. And rotate, look over your right shoulder. A nice active left leg. So pull your toes up toward you. Try to straighten that leg if you can. Sit up a little taller. 3 more breaths. And then as you come back to center, just let this right knee open and relax out to the side as we fold toward the left leg. And again, you can use your strap. We are going to hold for 1 minute in this stretch. The hip is relaxed. If you need some support for this hip, you can take a blanket or a block and prop your leg up here and relax into it. And then fold over that left leg as we hold 60 seconds. And check in with the brain, the body, and the breathing. And really find your edge. As we're toward the close of our practice today, our muscles are really warm. We've been lengthening the hamstrings. We've been opening up the hips. So you should be able to feel like you can move into what would be your deepest stretch for today. So we are going to add a slight twist with this. If you're using your strap, hold it in your left hand and turn your body toward the bent knee side and side bend. So I'm dropping my left rib cage toward my left leg, opening up my right rib cage. If you're not using your strap, you can reach out to the foot and pull yourself into a nice deep stretch. Inhale, come back up. We'll extend the right leg to straight. Bend your left knee. The foot can be on the left side of your leg or cross it over to the right side. Sit up tall, reach behind you with your left hand. Right arm can hug the knee in, or we can bring the arm all the way across or press the palms in our prayer position. Anjali Mudra. And really sit up tall Activate this quadricep, so tighten your leg, pull your toes back. Zip up your abdominals and see how far you can gaze over your left shoulder. Even though this is primarily considered flexibility, if you do it properly, there's a lot of core work here, a lot of quadricep engagement. One more breath. And release that twist. Allow your left knee to open. Give it support if you need to for your hip. And we'll reach and extend over the right leg. 60 seconds. Finding your edge here. Now you can absolutely bend this knee any amount, and a nice little trick is to take a hand towel and roll it under your knee so you have some support here. So you can have some bend in your knee, but it's not free floating above the floor. And that will allow you to come forward just a little bit more. Come back to the breath. Slow breath control. And then we'll prepare to add our twist. So if you're holding the strap, hold it into your right hand. Turn your body toward the bent knee side with that left arm and side stretch. So we're trying to twist our spine so we can get the right rib cage to align directly over the right leg and open the left side ribs. Two more breaths. Inhale, come back up. Turn your chest back toward the extended leg and we'll bend both knees to open out into Badakonasana. Bound angle pose. So your heels can be any amount away from your groin. You can pull them in tight and bend the knees deeply, or you can slide them further away, have more of a diamond shape with the knees. Lengthen the spine long and take your stretch forward. Now, depending how far you can fold forward, it's really nice to support your head in some way. So one way that I like to do that is to place my yoga block right here on my feet and put my elbows on the block and relax my head into my hands. And of course, your block has several heights, so you can bring it up a little higher, wherever your flexibility takes you. See if you can soften your inner thighs a little bit more. Your hips, your lower back. Two more breaths. And then walk yourself back up. You can keep your feet, soles of the feet together, or you can cross your ankles, coming to a comfortable seat. And we'll reach the arms out and up, take a nice stretch. Inhale and exhale. Two more breaths. Allow your palms to find one another. Draw the thumbs into heart center. Bringing the chin toward the chest in our Anjali Mudra, representing honor and gratitude. And I am honored to present this practice for you today and so grateful for this opportunity to practice virtually, to continue with this practice together in the comfort of your own home. And the light and joy that reside within me, honor the light and joy in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. If you can stay for a minute or two, that would be great. If not, I hope to see you tomorrow in cardio endurance. We'll be doing a long set of aerobic activity tomorrow. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Take care.